Um, Welcome back. This is King Rex coming with a new video for you. This is Tyson Punch Out fights ranked from easiest to hardest. This is only for the NES version of Punch Out. The ranking basis is basically I'm taking this from someone that's an absolute beginner up to someone that's just good enough to beat Tyson. So it does not consider speedrunners or people who are absolute experts that can easily breeze through the game. It does not consider how quickly a fight can be won because beating someone quickly doesn't mean they're easier, it just means it's quicker to do. It looks at how easy a fighter's attacks are to avoid based on how easily can you dodge their punches, how easy it is to get punches on them, basically either to hit them on one of their special moves or to hit them without having to, dodge and then attack, which is the normal way you can do it. How damaging the punches they throw are, any special attacks the fighter has, the winning conditions of a fight, and also the fighter's ability to withstand your own attacks. If it takes a lot more punches to beat a fighter, that's obviously more difficult than someone that can be beat with just a few. Um, 14th in my ranking is Glass Joe. I know some people will try to say he's not the easiest fighter in the game, but he is. He has some pretty easy win conditions. When he does his Viva La France attack, which is when he goes backward and comes forward, if you hit him within the first 4 frames on that, and he does it once in each round, it'll be an automatic knockout, so it's a one-hit knockout. If you knock him down 6 times, he will not get back up. And on the fifth knockdown, um, throughout the whole fight, there's a 50% chance he won't get back up. And the decision is at 5,000 points, so if you can get him down 5 times, each time you knock a fighter down, it's 1,000 points. So you probably wouldn't even have to get him down 5 times to win a decision. So basically, if you make it to the third round, which is not difficult, knock him down at least once every round and a couple times in 1 or 2 rounds, you'll beat him anyway. He has what are called one count conditions. Basically, if a fighter gets up on one and they'll almost always get a full line. If you hit them with a star punch, they'll go down on one star punch no matter what. If you get the first knockdown on him in under a minute at full health, which is pretty easy with Glass Joe, he'll get up on one. When he doesn't throw any punches the first 40 seconds, at 40 seconds he goes back and comes forward and does his Viva La France. It's very easy to hit him on that. You might not knock him out on that, but you will knock him down, which means when you get your next star punch, you'll get a one hit knockdown. If you get the second knockdown at full health, once again, not very difficult. It's not too difficult to get to the point where you can hit him where he can't even throw a punch. Where he can just he's basically a human punching bag. Star punch on any knockdown after the second one will give a one count knockdown. The only real thing about him that I'd say would be kind of a strength. He is a little stingy with star punches, but other than that, he's pretty easy to knock down. So he realistically doesn't have any real strengths other than he's just stingy with those star punches. The next fighter I put as the next weakest is Don Flamenco, which is actually the fourth fight in the game out of 14. This is because his win conditions are kind of easy. If you get 2 knockdowns without getting hit by him in under 1 minute and you're in full health, he won't get back up, and he's not too difficult to not get hit by. The fifth knockdown is a 12.5% chance is 1 in 8. Then it's like a 3 out of 8 on the sixth knockdown, or if you have full health, you won't get back up. The decision at 10,000 points, 10,000 points is a lot to score, especially if you aren't knocking him down a whole bunch of times. One thing about him is he's the weakest when it comes to star punches. If you hit him with a star punch, he's knocked down no matter what. He's the only fighter that, if you hit him with a star punch, he's knocked down. The way to beat him basically is you hit him, punch at him once, he'll block it. You dodge, he'll throw a big uppercut, and if you go left and right over and over again, you get stuck in a continuous loop. So you punch, dodge, left, right, left, right. You'll be able to work his health down. as long as you get that dodge in. Then and when he gets up, he's got a second continuous loop to him. If you hit him in the gut, you can just keep hitting him in the gut till he goes down. He'll give you a star punch every time. Basically, any punch on him where it's not a dodge and punch thing, where he's not stunned, you get a star punch every time. These are punches basically if you intercept an attack or if you're kind of late when he's. So there's a way that if you hit him at the last frame before he's no longer stunned, he'll give a star punch. But he gives out star punches really easy, although it's hard to get one except after you've knocked him down one time, just because you have to really time it well. But there's like, you just do that continuous loop of left, right. When he gets up, you can start punching at his stomach. You can do what's called buffering punches, where you hold the button until Little Mac throws the punch. So you start throwing the punch, you can do your next action. And it's very easy to do with this guy. So you'll basically be able to usually knock him down doing this less than a minute, usually around 45 seconds, maybe 48 seconds if you do the continuous loop left and right, and you do the gut punch, which gives stars. Or you can basically just dodge and do the continuous loop again left and right on him, because he does throw a punch right away when he gets up. Third easiest is King Hippo. The win condition is basically just knock him down one time. This is the only fighter that will not get up no matter what when you knock him down. That's why he's this low on the list. You can't win by a decision, but that's probably because you won't score very many points against him. I think the max is, I think it's like 1,320 points and he's out. He does not give star punches, but you don't need them. The only way you can hit him, which he's actually one of the better defensive fighters, is if you intercept what's his overhead punch, he'll lift his fist above his head and open his mouth. That is the fourth hardest punch in the game. The only harder punches are single hit knockdown punches on Little Mac. His other punches like a jab where he lifts his fist up to his mouth. But once you figure out how to beat him, which isn't difficult, you'll rarely even ever get hit by him again. So that's why he's the third easiest fighter. You only have to knock him down one time. It can be hard to figure out if you don't have any idea how to beat him, but once you know, he's very easy. The fourth easiest is Von Kaiser. This is a guy that a lot of people say is the easiest, but I disagree with that. The win conditions, if you hit him with a star punch on the third or fourth knockdown, he won't get back up. On the fourth knockdown, if you knock him down and it's not a star punch, it's a 50% chance. And on the fifth knockdown, he won't get back up. And he get the decision's 8,000 points on him, which I guess if you really just tried for points, you might be able to get it. But if you only have to knock him down 5 times, that'd be, means you can only knock him down 4 times to get to a decision. You have to get 4,000 points otherwise. So that might be a little difficult. One count conditions for him is if you get the first knockdown in under a minute with full health, you only get up on one. He does do the continuous loops, kind of like Don Flamenco. When he gets up, he'll throw a uppercut. You can either intercept an uppercut in the gut going left and right with gut punches, and he'll get stuck, or you can dodge and do left right on his face with basically punching hit him in the face, jabs basically for the continuous loop. If he is stunned, he gets knocked down by a star punch every time, but if he's not stunned, he doesn't. The reason why he's a little higher than Don Flamenco is you do have to knock him down at least 3 times to defeat him, either 3 times in one round or the third time with a star punch, where Don Flamenco only takes 2. You also have to hit him with stun star punches and knock him down, where Don Flamenco, they don't need to be stunned. And I think actually of the 3 fighters behind him, it's easier to get through the fight against them without getting. In fact, I'd say the first fighter that's more likely to sneak a punch in on you would be actually Bold Bull. I think everyone up to Bold Bull, he's probably the one that's most likely to actually hit you of all those fighters, which can ruin your one count knockdown and stuff like that. But you can work stars off him pretty easily. He's not difficult, but he's definitely more difficult than other people say he is. So it's probably a little controversial to put him this high on the list, but this is my opinion. And to me, it's harder to sneak punches in on him other than his uppercut, which is easy. but on his jabs, you got to have a little bit better timing than some of the other fighters. And I think he's just more likely to hit you. I'd probably get hit by him more than anyone else before Bald Bull. Um, the next fight is Piston Honda's first fight. Um, Knockout conditions are, other than the TKO that's everyone 3 times in 1 round, 37.5%, which is 3 out of 8 on the fourth knockdown. If you knock him down 5 times, he does not get back up, so that's kind of like Von Kaiser. You cannot beat him by decision. There's 5 fighters that have this cannot win by decision against. Any fighter that holds a belt, which is Piston Honda's first fight, Bald Bull's first fight, and Super Macho Man's. You also can't beat Mr. Sandman by a decision or King Hippo, but King Hippo, I don't think you could just score enough points to beat him by a decision. 1 count conditions, basically get up on 1 count. If you get the first knockdown on him at full health, which you can do, it's not overly difficult. And the third or fourth knockdown with a star punch, but that only comes into play if it makes it past the first round. He does have a one-hit knockdown on the bonsai attack. That's when he goes back and comes forward. He does give a star in every punch. Basically, if you hit him, where it's not a situation where you dodged and started punching him, you'll get a star every time, which is kind of his big weakness, and he gives out stars like candy. Although he actually does withstand him somewhat decently compared to some of the other fighters, especially the first 4 fighters. They take a lot more damage from stars than he does. This one's kind of probably controversial to have Piston out in a second fight. This is based on one thing, is why I put him this low. If you counter his bonsai attack on any of the first 4 frames, he will go down and not get back up, which means you can get him in with 1 hit. If you get the fourth knockdown with the star punch, he won't get back up. The fifth knockdown, he doesn't get back up, and the decision's only 3,000 points. So if you knock him down 1 time in each round, that's 3,000 points without anything else. And you get a decision on him, that's the lowest points for a decision. 1 count condition is the second knockdown at full health or the third knockdown with a star punch. If you hit him the third time with a star punch, it'll be a 1 count knockdown. And also, when he does the bonsai attack, there's an audience cue by the bearded man. At the end of this video, I'll show you where the audience cues are all in one picture. Basically, I have him too close up to show you that. My next fighter is Great Tiger. He can only be knocked out with the TKO, which means you have to give him 3 times in a round, or you have to score 10,000 points against him while surviving the entire fight. I do think it's hard to get 10,000 points in a fight unless you're really doing things to try to get as many points as possible, which if you're trying to beat someone and you haven't easily beaten them before, you're probably not going to do that. He does have an interesting 1 count condition. If you knock him down in under a minute at full health, he'll get up on 1. This can be done, and I found a way. I don't think I've seen anybody use this online. If you hold the up arrow the entire fight against him, he'll hold his gloves up like the upper guard position you see in this picture. And when he goes to drop his gloves, immediately hit him in the face. You'll get a star, and then hold your start button and immediately hit him with an uppercut. If you get him every time, you'll knock him down the first time in the late 30-second range. If you get the second one with 50 seconds or less, because you'll get up on 1 count, so you hit him in the face, then hit him to start punch will go down, and then you can get the third one, but you really don't want to do it. I guess you could try it, but if he blocks any of these punches, you'll have to get the third knockdown in a different way, but you can get all 3 knockdowns on him just using this hold the up arrow. When he drops his gloves up, immediately punch, then immediately hit him with a star punch, which you hit the start button for. You'll get him in a minute, 2 seconds this way. It's very kind of easy to do. You just kind of have to have the reflexes, and as soon as he drops his gloves, to punch him in the face. If you punch too early, he'll block it, so you have to really. It's easier to see him drop those gloves than it is to see the thing in the top of his turban flash, and so I think it's actually easier than that. It's also easier than where someone punches him in the face, then they dodge, then you have to wait to the perfect frame to punch him in the stomach. So it'll be a little slower than the fastest speed runs, but you'll get them in a minute too, and it's pretty easy. He also has a one-hit knockdown on what's called the Tiger Punch. It'll look like he's spinning around the ring, and it's a you basically block when he hits you. You let off the down air, blocking him, but only push it once, or you're not ducking on each punch. And the fifth time you hit him in the face, he'll go down. He also gives a star on every punch, meaning every time you hit him on something that's not a dodge and counter attack or attack back, you get a star. So to me, I've never seen anyone else do the thing where you manipulate his guard. When he drops his guard, you immediately punch him in the face. But it does work, and I consistently beat him with it. The next toughest fight, in my opinion, is the second Don Flamenco fight. Now he is very far into the game. In fact, I think he is the 10th fight or 11th fight overall. Because after him, you have Sandman. So he's the 11th fight overall in the game. But I actually have him as the seventh toughest, or seventh easiest, actually. He just takes a long time. He does fight a lot differently, and he is a lot better than he is the first time. The first minute and a half, he actually fights normal. He'll do if you he'll do jabs and hooks. The only way you see the hook to the first fight is if you turn your pink. But you can beat him fairly easy. The only issue is that he blocks a lot more, so it might take 2 rounds to beat him unless you're using an optimal speed running strategy. But I can always get him down at least twice in the first round. I have beaten them quite a few times, 3 times, but it is partially dependent on how much health he gets up with and if he blocks a bunch of punches. But even if you don't get him in 2 rounds, he's pretty easy to get in this. In the first round, he's very easy to get in the second round. He's actually fun to fight against in the third round, but he's a pain in the butt before because he actually just fights you normal in the third round. I wish he fought that way the whole way through, but yeah, he's not very difficult. He just takes a long time to beat. Once you get down his rhythm, he's really easy. The yeah, that's the sixth toughest fight because I'm going down to one. So Flamenco's the seventh toughest. So if he was in order and the way and how tough they were to defeat, he would be the first fight past the second circuit. Bald Bull, in his first fight, the only way you can beat him is through a TKO. You have to knock him down 3 times in a round to beat him. You cannot beat him by decision. I think he's probably the most hated fighter on the whole game. Um, Most people don't really care for him very much. Um, the only one hit knockdown on him is if you defeat the bull charge, but if he hits you on the bull charge, he's going to knock you down. There is an audience cue. Once again, I'll show you that audience cue at the end of the video. And you cannot land a star punch on Bald Bull in this fight if he's stunned. So you got to basically catch him. Either you have to dodge him quick enough that you can land a star punch before he throws another punch, or you kind of have to catch him when he's between. There is a way to knock him down consistently under 20 seconds. You have to buffer your punch. Basically, you have to, when Mario says fight, hold your button to punch him in the face. They get to punch him in the face twice. You'll get a star immediately to throw the star. And basically, you buffer all these punches. Basically, as soon as you hit one, when he's throwing his punch, you hit the next button. So then you'll go back and forth between regular punch, star punch until his line's very small. Then you'll wait just like a split second when he starts doing his rolling. He starts moving his fist. Punch him in the face again, he'll go down. And you should have one star punch. When he gets back up, he'll usually throw hooks. Basically, you dodge one hook, hit him 3 times, and immediately hit your star punch because you'll catch him before he can get his hook off and get another star punch on him. I can usually get him down twice in around 58 or 59 seconds this way. And that's without getting any extra star punches. And then you basically just dodge and punch the rest of the way on him. Unless he does rolling jabs. If he does rolling jabs, you dodge the first one, you can hit him in the face a couple times and get an extra star punch. And he always does at least 2 hooks. So you can do the dodge his hook, hit him 3 times, which you'll no longer be stunned. Yeah, that's when he's done hitting him, and then hit him with the star punch right away into the second hook. But don't do it past the second hook because he might throw an uppercut. And I think it actually hurts you more if he hits you with an uppercut while you're trying to throw an uppercut. And you won't. So basically, you can't sneak a few extra stars in on him after that first sequence. but I always beat him before he even does his bull charge. Um, but I'll show you how to defeat that on this one. The next one, the fifth toughest fight is Bull Bull on a second fight. The win conditions do seem easier, but he actually does fight a lot more difficult, which is why he's actually one position higher. If you hit him in the bull with on the bull charge in round three on one of the last three frames, he won't get back up, but it is difficult to do that and time it. If you knock him down five times in the game, there's a 25% chance he won't get up. If you get him down six times, which would be two per round, he won't get back up then. The decision is at 7,000 points. So if you knock him down five times, that'd be 5,000. You could probably work another 2,000 points off. And when he gives you a star, he gives you 100 points, and he does give lots of stars out there just because he has to. Once again, one hit knockdown on the bull charge. He gives a star on every punch this time, but the only way you can knock him down is to use a star punch or to counter the bull charge. This one, you have the bearded man in the audience as the audience cue. It's the same exact person that you use on Piston Honda in his second fight. The better bull charge you go after is a short hop bull charge because it is a bigger window than the other one. The only reason why you'd want to go after the first bull charge would be if you're trying to set like a personal best record, or if you're a speed runner and you're having to defeat that bull charge on the. But I think speedrunners might be able to beat him without even facing his bull charge, even in this fight. My number four is Soda Popinski. A lot of speedrunners will say he's not very difficult, but if you talk to people that are not speedrunners, people that are just good enough to get to Tyson or can just beat Tyson, they'll tell you he's one of the toughest fighters on the game. If you knock him down five times, there's a 25% chance he won't get back up. He doesn't get back up on the sixth knockdown. Decision at 10,000 points, you're probably not going to get on him. If you don't get him down six times, you're probably not getting 10,000 points. He does have one quirk to him. He has a one-hit knockdown on his star punch after intercepting his uppercut with a gut punch. If you watch people on how to beat him, they'll duck, and when he goes to throw the uppercut, he'll pause for a second. You can hit him in the gut. You don't have to do the duck action, but it does make it easier to time. It's still difficult to pull that stuff off, though, against him. You have to duck, hit him in the gut. He'll throw a second uppercut, or you can dodge the first uppercut. What I do a lot of times with him is I'll dodge his hooks and not even hit him back. Dodge his first uppercut, punch him in the face once. Duck, because you have to hit him twice to get star. You have to have every other hit on the star punch. Duck down, hit him in the gut, and immediately hit the star punch. It's still kind of difficult to pull off, and he's a pretty tough fighter otherwise. If you don't pull it off in the first round, it's very difficult to get it in the second round because you kind of have to hit him with the star punch as he's getting ready to throw his hooks, or he could dodge your star punch. After you use two star punches on him, he starts to dodge. So that's why I always hit him up with the. I just hit him with the hook after he does the second uppercut. But in the second round, it isn't two uppercuts and back to hooks. He can just keep throwing uppercuts. And if you try that in that round, he's probably going to hit you with an uppercut and knock you down. Number three, this is a little controversial because Mr. Sandman takes more time to defeat than just about any fighter in the game. And people look at how long it takes to defeat a fighter and think that means he's more difficult, but it doesn't. Winning conditions is 50% on the sixth knockdown, so you may have to TKO him. There's a 50-50 chance that he'll go down in the sixth knockdown. But he gets a lot tougher in the third round from what I understand. But he's easy to beat in two rounds. You can't beat him by decision. You can't earn a star punch until round three. But once you get the rhythm down on him, he's really easy to beat in two rounds. You basically will knock him down once, work him down to where his line's very small. And the way to speed him up is you throw a punch at him when he's in his phase of throwing hooks. He'll dodge. He'll throw a hook at you. You punch him in the face and hit him in the gut like three times. You just keep repeating that. Only when he's throwing his Dreamland Express does that not work, or when he's throwing his his jabs for the first like 45 to 50 seconds in the first round. But once you beat him, you'll never lose to him again. His Dreamland Express is very easy to time. I usually look at when he moves his gloves, but he has like three different tails. When he moves his gloves, if you dodge, then just dodge again, two regular dodges, and do a quick dodge on the last one because it gives you more punches to the gut. Not difficult to defeat. Once you get the rhythm down on him, he's very easy to defeat. There's only a couple places where there's really any thing where you actually have to even time him. His first punch, the timing is a little longer than the rest of his jabs, and a sixth jab. But on the sixth jab, you can just block it to avoid taking any damage if you don't feel like trying to dodge it. But you can also try to dodge it because you have to be able to react really quickly when you're fighting Tyson. Anyway, my second toughest, obviously at this point, is Super Macho Man. The winning condition with him, other than a TKO, is actually if you get the fourth, fifth, or sixth knockdown at full health, he won't get back up. This is what it says online. So if that's incorrect, let me know. You cannot beat him by a decision. The super spin punch will knock Little Mac down every time. There's an audience cue for the single spin punch. I'm on a super spin punch. The rhythm I used to dodge, you have to wait until you see him flash, and it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. Like once you get that rhythm down, it's easy. You actually can look at the clock when you're doing the counting. When the clock starts again, you know it's his last spin. Then you can start hitting him. Once you get that down, he won't spin as many times. He seems like he spins more if he hits you once with it, or if you're off the rhythm just a little bit. Because I think this game has like 60 frames per second, or at least 20 frames per second. So if you're off by a frame or two, he'll keep going until he catches you. Because you're losing a frame on it every time or two, he can eventually get you. I have seen him go around more than the 9 times that people say is the max. But my version of the game is the Mr. Dream version, not the Tyson version. And I'm playing it on a third-party retro game system, so I don't know if that'd make a difference or not, but it shouldn't. But I have him second, mainly because that super spin punch is so hard. Like you can buffer the dodges with Mr. Sandman. It's not hard. He's harder. He's so much harder to dodge. That's why he's second. Plus his hits are harder too. He does hit harder than Sandman as well. Last but not least, we're going to Mike Tyson and Mr. Dream. Um, these guys, they're on their own level. They're totally different. Like with other fighters, you can kind of anticipate what they're going to do. With Tyson or Mr. Dream, you have to react. You can't anticipate when he's about to throw a punch. Like I could close my eyes with with Sandman and fight most of that fight, just because I know I can count off when he's going to throw his jabs at the beginning, other than the sixth jab. I can actually really just cycle until he stops for his Dreamland Express, and he's one of the tougher fighters. I can just anticipate most of the punches. I can anticipate the punches with Super Macho Man. Just it's hard to dodge that super spin punch. Tyson, you have to see what he's going to do and react. So you need super quick reaction time. He also fights very differently throughout the game. The first half of the first round, it's all uppercuts and they're all one hit knockdowns. Then he does his where he winks at you fight, where it's like a quick jab. Those are just as hard or harder to dodge than the uppercuts. Then he has several other attacks, like the attack he comes out with at the beginning of the second round, where it's two jabs and then he stops, two jabs and he stops. Win conditions: 6 knockdown at full health or decision at 5,000 points. Good luck with both of those. 1 count if you get a third knockdown at full health, which would be in the second round, or fifth knockdown at the star punch. Good luck on both of those. So that's why these guys are top. These are your Audience cues, the bearded man is over here. I got him circled in red. He'll duck his head. They all kind of look like they duck. That's for Bold Bull 2 and Piston Honda 2. You'll see these sunglasses drop. The guy looks kind of like Officer Barb Brady off of South Park. That's for the mini spin punch. That's the only way I could ever time that one. But once you know that, he'll never hit you with it. And the camera flash, you can't anticipate it. And you either have to watch for him and hit him. It'll flash before you punch it Bold Bull. So these are the 3 audience cues. Thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe, comment, and have a great day.